One unique country is home to many animal species that are found nowhere else on Earth. Vietnam. Its spectacular landscapes are as diverse and remarkable as its animal population. However, humans are claiming more and more land for their own purposes. Displacing the animals and endangering their existence. Who survives? And who faces extinction? As human activity encroaches on the wilderness, the animals find themselves trapped. In southern Vietnam, the natural world was deeply scarred by war. But eventually, plants and animals have returned to the land of water. Deep in the rainforests of southern Vietnam, calls that are only heard in a few Asian countries echo through the trees. Every morning, for around 15 minutes, the singers move through the treetops at a whirlwind pace. The buff-cheeked gibbons greet the day as the male gathers his family around him. Vietnam is located on the eastern coastline of Southeast Asia. Two fertile river deltas lie in the north and south, separated by a narrow mountain pass that forms a boundary between the two parts of the country, both geographically and in terms of climate. The mighty Mekong River carves its way through the landscape, eventually forming a great delta. Rainforest has become rare here, but it can still be found in the Cat Tien National Park, home of the gibbons. They are skilled acrobats. The adult male swings his way from branch to branch rapidly and confidently. And he is not alone. His mate is nearby. She joins in the calls, a daily routine that reinforces social structures and also marks the family's territory. Their 5-year-old daughter joins the chorus. Gibbons have close family ties, and couples stay together all their lives. Male gibbons are easily identified by their dark fur, while females are a lighter yellow-brown color. Infant gibbons are born yellow, then initially turn black after about 6 months. The fur of the females then gradually turns yellow again. The transformation is completed when the young female matures. At this point, she will strike out on her own, after several years of being extremely close to her parents. Grooming also helps to cement the relationships within the family, but the ties that bind them together will eventually unravel. Cat Tien National Park helps to protect the last large rainforest in southern Vietnam. The northern and southern parts of the country are home to a diversity of climates. In the mountainous north, the climate is cool and changeable, while the south, with its wet coastal geography, enjoys tropical, humid heat. The two parts of the country are separated by the Hai Van Pass, also known as the Ocean Cloud Pass, which forms a natural border between north and south. The city of Da Nang lies at the foot of the pass. In 1965, American combat troops landed here to support South Vietnam in its war against the North, which was supported by the Soviet Union. The war would continue until 1975, cost millions of lives, and do severe damage to the Vietnamese countryside. After decades of recovery, few traces of the war are left in the colorful coastal city. Away from the crowded beaches, Vietnam's coast was once lined with coral reefs. These days, very few intact reefs survive. Now, efforts are underway to repair the damage done by destructive fishing practices. This will be the foundation of a new coral reef. Corals are carefully removed from dying reefs and then resettled here. The hope is that the individual corals will gradually grow together, eventually forming a large new reef. Concrete blocks are used as a starting point for entirely new reefs. The corals grow up to 6 centimeters a year. After 3 years, the outline of a contiguous reef can be seen. Before long, a range of life forms discover the new flourishing habitat. Sea anemones provide safe harbor. It will take at least 10 years for these early beginnings to mature into large, extensive reefs. Intact natural reefs are now primarily found around the islands off the Vietnamese coast. They provide a refuge for a wide range of marine animals that can no longer find natural habitats along the coast of the mainland. Every 2 to 5 years, female green sea turtles embark on long journeys to the places where they lay their eggs. They mate with males they encounter during their extensive travels. After mating, this female green sea turtle continues on to her nesting beach. The precise location has remained implanted in her mind for decades. It is the place where she originally hatched. Her destination is the Con Dao Archipelago, 170 kilometers from the southern Vietnamese mainland. When night falls, the work begins. She drags herself up onto the beach and starts digging a hole. The turtle uses her rear flippers to shovel the sand aside. Around 100 eggs are eventually deposited here. Then she carefully covers up the clutch of eggs, making sure that it is practically invisible to potential scavengers. The exhausted turtle drags herself back into the water as the first light of dawn appears. The green sea turtles used to travel to the coasts of the mainland. But in the south, there is now just one small stretch of pristine beach left. Although Vietnam has more than 3,200 kilometers of coastline, some parts of the coast are lined with mangrove forests. This was not always the case. Not long ago, these natural wave breakers had almost completely vanished from Vietnam. The trees were cut down and sold, or used for firewood. The roots of the mangrove trees are the perfect launch pad. For a group of playful long-tail macaques. The young primates have discovered an adventure playground in the flooded forest. Unfortunately, the water comes and goes. Mangroves are always at the mercy of the tides. As soon as the water recedes, creatures emerge from the sandy soils. First, some quick housekeeping. Then it's time to eat. There is plenty of nutritious food. The crabs are tasting some freshly caught leaves. Dozens of mud skippers skip along the water's edge. The amphibious fish are able to close their gills and store water in large gill chambers. It's mating season. The males engage in displays of strength and show off the size of their fins. The incoming tide puts an end to their power struggles. It's time to go and leave the world outside. The tides ebb and flow every 6 hours or so. But the trees and animals here are perfectly adapted to life in the intertidal zone. The dominant male macaque signals that it's time to go. The family members quickly fall into line. They know that the upcoming excursion will be worth it. It's time for lunch. Meals on wheels. Cunzo Mangrove Biosphere Reserve is a popular destination for day trippers from Ho Chi Minh City. Every visitor is examined in detail. Step 1. Approach carefully. Step 2. Act innocent. Step 3. Pounce. The macaque has little interest in the food that may or may not be in the backpack. This year, no self-respecting macaque would be seen dead without sunglasses. Well, maybe a deal can be made. A ranger arrives on the scene. With some bribery for the light-fingered macaque. The sunglasses are returned to their rightful owner. The clever macaques have learned that extortion is an effective way to get exactly what they want. Freshly served in a plastic wrapper. As humans increasingly encroach on animal habitats, some animals have found ways of taking advantage of the interlopers. Vietnam actually has comparatively few mangrove forests, even now. During the Vietnam War, more than 100,000 hectares were destroyed. Extensive reforestation efforts are gradually restoring the mangrove forests to their former glory. The macaque mangroves are not far from Ho Chi Minh City, a metropolis that is home to millions. The city was known as Saigon during the war and hosted a number of American soldiers until it fell in 1975. The city is the most important hub in the Mekong Delta. After the end of the war, this part of the country was in crisis. American troops had sprayed vast areas of southern Vietnam with the defoliant Agent Orange in order to prevent the Viet Cong guerrillas from hiding underneath the dense canopy of the rainforests. The chemicals also decimated the crops that people needed to survive. In many places, the jungle never returned. But in 1978, the government established a large conservation area that came to be known as Cat Tien National Park. Here, the forest has been able to spend almost 5 decades recovering from the war and growing freely. Now, Cat Tien is home to the last intact section of lowland tropical forest in Vietnam. As the vegetation recovered, the animals returned. The treetops are particularly busy. Gibbons almost never venture down onto the ground, which means they depend on intact rainforest for their survival. The buff-cheeked gibbons are endangered. Many of them have made their home in the Cat Tien National Park. This mother and daughter are in a hurry. The male snacks on the ripe fruit of a nearby fig tree. The 2 females eventually join him, but the daughter keeps her distance. While gibbon parents remain together all their lives, young animals strike out on their own once they are sexually mature. The daughter senses it will soon be time to turn her back on her mother and father. The older male still tolerates the presence of his offspring, but circumstances for the little family are about to change dramatically. The daughter has a difficult period of her life ahead. The ripening of the figs marks the beginning of a feast for many animals. Below the gibbons, someone else also has their sights set on the juicy fruit. An Asian black bear has settled in for a meal. The Asian black bear is one of the world's least known bear species. The bears have a distinctive tuft of long, shaggy hair on the back of their necks. They are solitary animals. And this bear in particular will remain alone. He is a captive. Many Asian black bears are kept as attractions. In this case, captivity is for the bear's own good. For decades, many Asian black bears were kept in tiny cages, as this bear once was. Bile was drained from the bear's gallbladders to be used in traditional Chinese medicine. Today, bear bile farms are officially banned in Vietnam, but the cruel practice of draining bile is thought to continue illegally. Scientists now believe that wild Asian black bears have almost completely vanished from Vietnamese forests. Most Vietnamese bears are kept in protective enclosures and will probably never be able to live freely again. While the wild Asian black bears have practically disappeared from Vietnam, another species has successfully fought its way back from the brink. Cat Tien's dense rainforest opens up to reveal a large lake known as Bao Sao. Conditions in and around the lake are ideal for aquatic plants and birds. Many different dragonfly species lay their eggs near the plants. Watched from above, a silent hunter carves its way through the water. By the 1990s, Siamese crocodiles were considered extinct in Vietnam. Between 2001 and 2004, 60 individuals from a breeding program were released into Bao Sao, also known as Crocodile Lake. In 2005, scientists discovered the first young crocodile to be born here. Now, this population is once again stable. The female crocodile is hungry and soon returns to the water to hunt. Her attentive offspring tries to follow her lead. It soon discovers that fish are deceptively quick. Maybe the airborne alternative is easier to catch. Unfortunately not. The alarm call of a bronze-winged jacana reaches the tiny crocodiles. The osprey is on the prowl and has caught something. Fortunately, the raptor rarely hunts crocodiles. Calm returns, as does the crocodile mother. Southeast Asia is now home to around 1,000 fully grown Siamese crocodiles. The fact that a number of them live in Vietnam is a testimony to local conservation efforts. While northern Vietnam is largely mountainous, the southern part of the country is predominantly shaped by the vast Mekong Delta. With a surface area of 60,000 square kilometers, the Mekong Delta is the third largest river delta in the world. During the rainy season, countless tributaries and channels carry fresh water to even the most remote parts of the forests. The arrival of the water also attracts animals. Two young Asian small-clawed otters playfully hunt fish in a pool. The otters themselves are often the target of more serious hunters. The adorable animals are in high demand as pets. The two small-clawed otters turn their attention to the forest floor. Crab hunting requires a level of skill the inexperienced young otters have yet to achieve. Their sensitive forepaws are no match for the wily crabs. After a while, the disappearing act becomes a little frustrating. Eventually, their hard work pays off. The small-clawed otters use their powerful jaws to crack their prey's shell. This crab makes a lucky escape. The Mekong determines the lives of more than 17 million people in southern Vietnam. After a journey of around 5,000 kilometers through 6 countries, the river finally flows into the South China Sea. But before that, it winds its way through a delta almost the same size as Ireland. During the rainy season, the water level rises by several meters. Large areas of land are soon flooded. The resulting watery wilderness of swamps, grassland, and mangroves appears almost endless. Every year, more than 200 different bird species descend on the Tram Chim National Park. Some of them are very rare. The tall trees in the flooded areas become the backdrop to a loud, eye-catching spectacle. Hundreds of birds arrive all at once. The Asian openbills are a type of stork. It's the beginning of breeding season, and many of the birds carry nest-building materials. An oriental darter observes the nearby commotion. Predictably, the competition for prime real estate descends into arguments. Openbill couples are at play, grabbing their partner by the beak. Nearby, the darters are already busy rearing their chicks. The Con Dao archipelago has become an important sanctuary for sea turtles. The time has come. The wide world awaits. The green sea turtle hatchlings have fought their way out of the eggs and up to the surface. The 100 eggs produce almost as many hatchlings. The result is chaos. The turtles head for the water as fast as their flippers can carry them. On the beach, they are easy prey. The turtles quickly settle into their new ocean home. A straggler brings up the rear. It instinctively heads for the bright patch in the distance. The young sea turtle will never forget the place of its birth, and may eventually return here. There is a new addition to the gibbon family. A baby has arrived. The infant gibbon is initially nursed by its mother. The young female is now a big sister. Her father continues to tolerate her presence, but there is tension in the air. The older male watches every move his daughter makes. The mother's priorities have changed with the birth of her new baby. It's a male. The young gibbon bravely ventures out on his own. Suddenly, his big sister attacks. She is jealous of the new arrival and makes her feelings known. This is not a play fight. The mother arrives to stop the argument and also becomes the target of her daughter's wrath. The father watches closely. Then he swings into action. While the mother carries the baby to safety, the older male and his daughter continue the dispute. The juvenile retreats and sulks. She has had to make way for a new gibbon generation. Although they are endangered, there is hope that the rare buff-cheeked gibbon will survive here. The young female will soon have to seek out her own place. Vietnam's history has had a significant impact on the landscapes, vegetation, and animals in the southern part of the country. Human activities have left their mark. But luckily, there is always a glimmer of hope in the land of water.